Hello, everybody. We are here in February, very excited to have made it to February. So many people have been talking about how long January was and how it sort of lasted for 3,500 days. And I have to admit that I did not experience that at all. It was awkward and unpleasant and sickly, as has been true for a number of us. But I feel like I'm shocked that it's the 5th of February already. And things are only going to speed up. So we're working very hard to do some grounding and some slowing down today. Welcome everyone. And before we get started, I'm going to ask for your tacit permission to do energy clearing and rebalancing. We're going to do something a little bit different today. What we're going to do is we're going to do a check and reset of something specific, and I'll let you know what it is. I'll energy test to see what we're going to do. And we're going to do that globally for everybody before we get started. So I'm going to need your tacit permission to do that. If you would prefer that I not involve you because you don't want any energy shifting to happen today, if you've got things that you need to do this evening or whatever, you're already processing, maybe from doing energy work today already, whatever it is. If you don't want me to include you, please put your name either in the global chat or to me personally. You don't have to let anybody know what's going on for you. Just a reminder that you don't show up in the recording and the chat doesn't show up in the recording, and I'm not going to use your name either. So we're going to go ahead and do that global reset. And I just want the people knowing who are on recording that this is impacting you unless you're choosing for it not to be. So I'm getting your tacit permission as well to work with your energy to do a global reset. Just to check in, might be doing something around chakras, might be doing something around your meridians, might be doing something around your magnetic field or your auric field. So just letting you know that I'm going to check in, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do that while Valen is doing the channeled message. And then that will be a reset that will then be sort of an entry into the rebalancing that we'll do during the information that Valen's going to share with you that's astrological. So if you want to share a no, please go ahead and do that in the chat and I will see that. Before we get started, just letting you know that we have a couple of housekeeping pieces. Our Co-Creating 2025 Circle series, we are offering the second one of the series on March 29th. That's a Saturday. It's all around reconnecting to that innate power within because we are entering the time of the spiritual warrior at the end of March. That is also a time that allows us to set our intentions in a powerful way. We'll be working on vision boarding together. It won't be a standard vision board. We'll be using the astrological insights that Valen will offer. And stay tuned for a special code, a discount code that's going to arrive in your email for all of the ACC members, all of our Astro Circle members. We will send you a code for discount for that. And it's on if you want to take a look at the details, it's on our website. And Valen is also offering the part 1 and part 2 of Language of the Stars, her signature course that she has created as an initiation into the magic of astrology, learning the language, really working with the symbology, the energies. She's an extraordinary teacher. I can say that because I've been her student. I hope to be dropping in on some of those as well, even though I've done them before. I'm always happy to attend. So if you are interested, please reach out to us. We'll also send you, watch for your email for details around that. And you can find information about that on our website as well. So let's get to the channeled message that Valen will share with you. And in the meanwhile, I will be doing some check and reset for everybody.
Okay, so this was an interesting one for me when I read it back. To begin with, the first sentence, the first paragraph is one sentence, which goes on, whatever. It just comes through me. But I mentioned this to Sasha before, and I just want to point this out. This is the first time that I can remember that they have talked about the transformation of the planet, which they talked about constantly for the last few years, but also they added and beyond, which I just thought was so interesting. It's like our galactic global community. There's a change that's happening. Anyways, that piece was really fascinating to me. So here it is. This is what they offered today. As we support this group that has come together to honor the energies of trust, compassion, and creativity as a way forward to a future yet to unfold, we bring to you our expression of gratitude and love for each and every one of you as you seek your own individual connection to spirit and your unique path to manifesting spirit into your world at this time. We cannot understate how important it is at this time to be intentionally bringing to your world the spirit of love, compassion, and peace for all. This truly is creating an energetic scaffold from which reality is now being formed. Know that every moment that you feel your heart expand, feel the beauty that surrounds you, feel your own connection to all, you are playing an essential role in the transformation and transcendence that is occurring on your planet and beyond.
I love the terminology energetic scaffold. That's brilliant. I don't think they've ever used that before. And certainly this idea of our planet and beyond really speaks to some of the energies that you've been talking about and introducing to us in terms of the truths coming to light, the awareness, our connection with our off-planet allies, and that sort of thing. So I will let you carry on with that.
Okay, awesome. And I see you've put in, you're resetting your magnetic field. That's the global reset. Cool. Love that.
Yes. So if anybody has questions about what a magnetic field is for your body, we can talk about that after a circle.
Okay. So the first piece that's really important this month is that we have an abundance of Piscean energy, an abundance of connection to our dreams, to our intuition, to that kind of guidance that comes from that energetic scaffold that we don't see. And there's a couple of reasons for this. One is Pisces, the Neptune, the planet that rules Pisces, a little bit of astrology, is at the very last degree of Pisces. So Neptune is about the dreams, it's about the mystical, it's about the magic, the spirituality, creativity, the sense of divine love. That's Neptune. And Pisces is in line, it's about our intuition, our compassion, our sensitivity, our connected to that non-physical realm. So when Neptune gets to the end of Pisces, at that very last bit of Pisces in its 165-year orbit, it emphasizes, it expands. And so we're in a time in February that we get this extra hit, we get this extra opportunity to really, really connect to this. Because by the end of March, Neptune's making a shift, which we'll deal with in March, but Neptune is shifting out of Pisces. So this is this incredible opportunity and this heightened awareness and I'm going to say accessibility to this part of ourselves. So you know, the watching the dreams and all that kind of stuff. The other reason that this becomes really important is because Neptune is joining up with something called the North Nodes. And the North Node in an astrological chart is about your future, your destiny, your soul purpose. It's like, what is your soul pulling you forward to learn, to gain, to experience in this particular lifetime? And so when you bring these two together, Neptune, your dreams, your vision, your intuitive guidance, your spirituality, your creativity, connected with your future destiny. What does your soul want to live out in this life? These two are coming together. So then we get the guidance from spirit for what our soul purpose is and how we're going to move towards it. So literally we are being guided into our future. And for the next little while, this is heightened. So it's a time to really pay attention to the dreams, really listen to the inner voices, watch for synchronicities, all the ways that the universe or spirit speaks to us in our real life. How does that work? So it's an incredible opportunity to pay attention to it. and at the same time to recognize, as you know, people who are hearing this information and working, you know, in circles and connecting to spirit, to recognize how important it is right now to be a conduit for spirit, you know, for the grace that's flowing through. It's a little bit like the channeled message, just thinking about that, putting that together now, that the connecting to unconditional love, how important it is right now, and what an incredible opportunity we have to be in that state. And part of that is embracing compassion for others and embracing compassion for ourselves. And particularly the Piscean and the Neptunian energy, oftentimes things aren't clear. There's no real solid path ahead, or there's, you know, maybe too much information without having a direct line of what's next. There's this, can be sort of a confusion. And so to have self-compassion for, you know, each of us, to have self-compassion for ourselves, it's like, I don't know which way to go, or I don't have any clarity. This is really a time to really recognize that may be the case, and that's absolutely fine. So to tap into trusting the dreams and intuitions, and in this moment, in this Piscean sea that we're experiencing right now, to not worry about exactly how the dream is going to unfold. It's more important to connect to the essence of the dream, to feel it, to visualize it, to just be in the essence of it without thinking, well, I have to do this, this, and this to get there. This, you may be working on a project, let's just say, that you have a vision for and can be working on it. In that case, trusting your intuition to guide you, but to know that if you don't know that next step, the more important piece is to capture this energy and dream in what you're going to be creating. So to once sort of to give yourself a break on that one too. And because the North Node is in this connection to Neptune, which is our beliefs, and Pisces, our beliefs, our spirituality, it's almost like we're being drawn into a new understanding of what our beliefs is and even what consciousness is. There's an opening that's happening now, and that we're part of it. We're part of that extraordinary time where things are opening up. And so with all of this, to recognize, I'm using surrender because Neptune and even Pisces surrender is a word that's used in conjunction with these planets and these signs. And so to surrender to divine guidance in whatever way that shows up for you. And that's going to be different for everyone. It may be through a flow of creativity. It may be through spiritual insights. It may be through compassion, but to recognize that is what this month is offering us, and to take advantage of it at this time. So the other piece that's really interesting this month is Venus, the planet of beauty, the planet of relationships, the planet of what brings us pleasure, what we like, what's important to us, the planet that's related to money and abundance, is shifting into Aries, this planet of action, drive, courage, passion, leadership, like this active energy. And why it's important is because this year Venus will go retrograde. It doesn't go retrograde that often, so it's sort of a little unusual, and we're going to get extra time with Venus in Aries. So there's a couple of reasons why it's important, but the first is just to recognize that we are being offered the opportunity to value ourselves. And so I put dance courageously because of this image that I found, to dance courageously what makes us feel good, what we want in our life, who we are, valuing ourselves. Like, it's just such a powerful time to find that inner courage, to say, yeah, this is me, this is what I value, and this is how I value myself. So we're getting time to explore that. And there's also part of that is expressing, it's making real, acting on the divine feminine, which is part of what the Piscean energy sort of accentuates this at this time. There's this place about being in our feminine nature and doing it, like following the passion or taking action through this. And that was why I put be love in action. Be love, be harmony, be the abundance, be in the pleasure of what you desire. make that into action. And a part of me thinks, well, that's what being divine feminine is. It's like, okay, I'm following that, my intuition, I'm being guided to this beautiful feminine energy that's in all of us, male or female. So important right now on the planet. And using that courage to take a stand for what's important to you. And of course, it's going to be different for everybody. And we just need to follow that. We need to be in that at this time. And to recognize there's going to be so much external noise and more coming for the first half of this, the whole first half of this year, to recognize what leads us forward, our spirituality, our connection to spirit, connection to divine, and also what's important to us, each of us individually. So how do we take a stand for something that's really important? It may take courage. It may take a form of leadership that is not normal in some way. So this is what the opportunity of the energy that's coming in. And there's another piece, because I use the word reflect, because we're going to be having some time of retrograde, which like a Mercury retrograde planet appears to go forward, then appears to go back, appears to go forward again. So in the appearing to go back time, we get to think and revise and reflect on what this all means. So this is a time to reflect on our values, or to just simply reflect on what makes us feel good. Like, this is part of Venus. What makes you feel good? How do you feel? How do you feel pleasure? Is it creating? It's an artistic planet. Is it connecting with others? Are you in a close harmonious relationship? Is that it? Like, just to really pause and think about that part of your life, and just really recognize it, because you may need to take a stand for that. No, this is really important to me. I value this, and this makes me happy. I need to stand up for this. So there's a time that we're going to be reflecting on this. So we're just getting introduced to the story now. And in the same vein, we're going to get a chance to either reflect on or consider what our passions are, and decide, are we renewing them, or are we releasing them? There may be old passions, old patterns, old stories about what makes us happy. This may be a beautiful opportunity to decide, do I want to renew that, or do I want to let it go now? And in general, using your action, using your energy, your drive to create beauty and harmony in your life, even if it's for 1 minute a day, even if it's the tiniest thing, whatever gives you pleasure, to create that for yourself, because every time we do that, it's like it ripples out. Especially when we do that in consciousness, it's like we create something beautiful, it could be a beautiful meal. And when we honor it and we're in gratitude for it, energetically that ripples out. So because we've got this longer exposed time with Venus in Aries, with this retrograde and this time to reflect on it, this is a beautiful time as we're entering into this to pay attention to what's really important to us. And here's the piece of why it's really important. The beginning of the zodiac is 0 degrees Aries. It's called the Aries point. And things manifest at that point. It's the very start of the zodiac. And what is about to happen, which we'll be looking at in future circles, is Neptune and Saturn are going to meet at that point. Neptune is our dreams. Saturn is manifestation. What we are contemplating now, what makes us happy, what kind of relationships do we want to have, how do we have harmony in our life, all of the, how are we being creative, all of those things that we get to kind of explore this month is going to be part of what informs the path forward that when we choose in a couple of months to start manifesting our spirit into real life, or our creativity, or our compassion. So it becomes a little bit of a, like a foreshadow of what's coming, and this beautiful opportunity to really show up in this is going to help us and guide us to what we want to manifest coming forward.
So I'd like to do a little mini exercise just to get us ready for when Velen is finished with the astrological insights. And what I'd like to do, sometimes visioning the future, like, oh, what do I want? What makes me happy? Sometimes that can be too much, especially when we've just come off, the 3,000 days of January that everybody felt was so challenging. And, perhaps in my case, in Valen's case, and some other colleagues of ours, perhaps physical sickness has been involved. You know, we've got at least one person here tonight with laryngitis. So certainly, there's been a lot. And it can be difficult from that place to vision anything forward. So I just want to take a moment for us to gather ourselves back to ourselves. Take a hand and place it on your heart. And we're going to do more heart work in a moment, but let's just take a moment and place the hand on the heart. Do a little heart rub, just a little circle. You're kind of bringing yourself back to you. Take a moment to notice the feeling of your feet on the ground as you rub your heart. Really be present to yourself. And sometimes reaching for self-love right off the bat can just feel like a bit of a stretch, especially if you've had weeks of feeling kind of crappy, or you're feeling a little bit frustrated or a little bit irritated, a little peeved, whatever that energy is. So just letting that fall to the wayside for a moment. You can pick all that back up in a moment, but just letting that fall to the side. And instead of focusing on self-love, we're just going to focus on one thing that you really like. One thing that you really like or enjoy. It can be something about yourself, but it can also be something simple, like your morning tea or that first sip of coffee, or the walk that you take once a week, or it can be spending time with your pet, or it can be a child or a grandchild, or it can be a book that you're reading right now, or the newsletter that you receive that you really enjoy reading, or someone's sense of humor, or a show that you're watching that you really look forward to, or whatever it is, small, simple. Just pay attention to that. Bring your attention fully to the thing that you really like or enjoy. Write it down if that feels right for you, if you like to write things in a journal. It's also for those of you who are on recording here. Make a note of the one thing. And just bring your attention to that and breathe into your heart as you bring your attention to that thing that you enjoy or like. And if you want to share what it is, go ahead and throw it in the chat.
I'm just typing in. And I can start. Oh, there we go. Okay, I just had to put in my 2 cents. So what is happening this month? There's 5 days this year when all of the planets are moving direct. So once again, like Mercury retrograde, half the planets are retrograde half the year, literally. So it's an unusual feature to have 5 days in a row where all of the planets are moving direct, and this is the only time this is happening this year. And so here's the thing: as planets move retrograde or direct, they slow down. So they may not be moving forward quickly. As a matter of fact, one of the planets, Uranus, is actually staying at 23 degrees till mid-March. So some things aren't actually moving, but within the 5 days, and this is at the end of February, I sort of vision it like a sense of leaning into your future. There may not even be a step at this time, but this sense, a feeling of, oh, I'm ready, or oh, I can be forward facing now. Like there's going to be a shift in energy, and I don't know what that'll mean for everybody, but it might be something to pay attention to, because I feel like there will be some energetic, oh, this can happen now. It's like the retrogrades are often internal, reflect, let's think about it, not quite ready to move on it yet. Everything direct is like, I'm ready to move forward. Well, you may have a clearer sense of what direction is. And it's funny, I have a mentor, and we were in class and we were discussing this, and everyone had a different idea about this. Do we move forward? Are we feeling it? Anyways, so my place, and this is just me feeling into it, is that we will have more of a sense of where we are moving, or that we can move forward. There'll be an energy pulling us out of ourselves in some way, as if we're preparing to take that step, even if we're not taking a step, as if we feel we're being drawn forward. And so my thought about leaning into the future, even if in this moment, in this whole month, that may not be fully clear, may not be fully formed, that's okay. Just recognizing that sense. And to also have the patience to recognize that there may not be a lot of movement right now, that it literally may be just an energetic sense of moving forward, or a clearing of, oh, there's a direction that's drawing me in. Oh, that feels good. That may be all that's happening. So to know that there's some of the movement may be slower than even you want. I'm moving forward and I really want to take an action, and it's just not kind of working. So at this time, this goes back to last month, we talked about Mars, the planet of action and energy and drive, is in Cancer, how we care for ourselves, how we nurture ourselves, and it's turning direct. So now will be important time to take action on our self-care, to recognize that's going to be something that's going to be part of, it's a cycle. So we take that with us. As Mars leaves Cancer, we take the actions we've taken this month in, okay, this is how I'm going to take care of myself. Even once again, even if it's a simple thing, let me do this thing, or let me cut out this thing in my life that I don't want to do anymore. Whatever it is for you, this is a beautiful time. The energy, Mars going direct. Mars is like, okay, I want to take an action on this and I want to do it. So I keep myself safe. I keep my family safe. I feel nurtured. And Jupiter is also going direct, and it is about expansiveness, and it's in Gemini. Messages, information. So this is a beautiful time to start to watch for what information, what words, what ideas, what perspectives are flowing to you in some way that are revealing truths. That's Jupiter, that uplift you and expand your life. So Jupiter, sometimes things can flow so easily that you don't pay attention. So this is, once again, just pay attention to all the synchronicities or the messages or what people say, or someone's word that you read, a line that you read that really resonates. That will be part of this month's guidance that is giving you some truths. It's expanding you in some way. And the other piece that we've already talked about is Venus is going to be stationing retrograde at the end of the month, which means it's going to slow down and it's going to focus. And so here we're going back to the slide I already did. We are going to be asked to find the courage to pursue what we like. Once again, like Sasha said, the smallest could be the smallest things, and find the grace in that. Allow that to flow in your life. Oh, this is something I really like this book of poetry. It doesn't matter what it is. To recognize that you might want to, protect that part of yourself. I'm thinking of Aries as the warrior, as the protector. That is something that and all of these pieces that are shifting and changing directions and allowing us to move forward are going to be pieces we're going to take with us. And the reason I'm sort of accentuating this is because come the end of March and over the spring, we're going to be asked to step up and take some action in some way. Following all, so we're in a preparatory phase, it sort of feels like, and that's going to, all of these pieces this month are guiding us through that. And I sort of think as a preparation time. We're in a preparation time right now. And so to recognize the gift that the stars the planets are aligning for ourselves.
Beautiful. So I just wanted to let everybody know that for all of the statements that you made previously in terms of what it is that you really like or enjoy, we realigned you to your heart-brain communication. So remembering that there is more information that comes from the heart to the brain than the other way around. right? So the remembering that at the beginning, we reconnected you and reset your magnetic field. So the magnetic field is about the hertz that your body gives off, the heart 50 times that of the brain. So if it's measurable, which it is, you can measure that energetic field goes way, way, way beyond your physical body coming from the heart as compared to your thoughts. So what we did here is we realigned heart brain so that your heart is taking the lead. So really thinking about recognizing the importance of self-care, finding courage to pursue what you desire with grace, finding that clearer sense of direction, none of that is mental. None of that is mental. It's all heart-centered. So just sit with that because we're going to do a little bit more together in a little while.
And I just want to answer Beth's question. The 5 days where things are direct starts February 23rd, goes to March 1st. So just, you can put that in your calendar if you have things you want to really move on. So to kind of sum this up, what are we doing this month? I think we're paying attention to what we're dreaming in. So being in the dream time, in whatever way that means, in the flow of creativity, in the compassion that we have for other people, and surrendering to the void of pure potential, because there's times when we can't necessarily see clearly, but it's in the void where actually things start to form, where we get our insights, where the information flows through us. That is our dreams. So this is a beautiful time to really focus on that with all this Piscean energy, even though we're in Aquarius season, but the chart is packed with Pisces, especially at the end of the month, packed. And because that Neptune and North Node we're being guided forward, part of me thinks that recognizing that the synchronicities that we have in life, to me, is the voice of the universe. And that's Jupiter in Gemini. What uplifts you? How is the universe speaking to you? What information? That piece is guiding us forward. So to really pay attention. And once again, that's not of the head. It's like the insight comes through. You can use the mind to remember it or to write it down or whatever, but it doesn't come through the brain. It's that it comes through the other realms, the unseen world, whatever that is, the universe speaking to us. So it's a really great opportunity to watch for that as guidance for our path forward. And know that with this Venus and Aries point, that new cycle that we're going to be starting, the importance of that for all of us, and what are we initiating? It's to recognize that this dreaming in part is following, to hear the calling of what we want to manifest, to follow our own passions. It can be very unique for everybody, and to recognize in the cycle of the next 12 months, that is going to be really important, what we are initiating. So here we've got this place to really tap into, what we do feel passionate about, or simply what do we like, to pay attention to that. And all of this, with all the Piscean energy, things may not be clear. It's just the way it is. With Pisces energy, it's dream world. It's, if you think of when you have a dream and then you try to remember it and it doesn't quite come in, I can't remember it, but you have the feeling of it. That's where we're in. So to have patience, have self-compassion, as you may not fully have a clear vision of where you're going in this moment, or something's going on in your life, you just don't have the answer right now. That's part of this. And the Piscean part, the Neptune, the Pisces, trust that our path is unfolding, each individually, to recognize that we are dreaming it in, that, think of all the years that we did intention circles. The dreaming in is the beginning of the manifestation. So if we can't see clearly, what have we got? We can trust. We can listen to our heart. We can trust. We can find that guidance that's going to allow us to move forward, and to know that that path is unfolding. It's almost like releasing. Oh, there's my feeling there where I want to go, and trust that it's happening and release it. Let it go. So that's the piece. When I think about this month, that's kind of sort of what I pull. I sort of thought that brings us to a point, and it's a stepping stone to next month. We're in this really incredible time that's coming, and how important it is to not skim over the dream piece now, or the intuitive piece, or the creation, any way that we're any connection to source, to universe, to spirit. That's what we're called to do. We're encouraged to do this month as part of this unfolding of this year.
And it's a beautiful way for us to be reminded that the divine feminine has really struggled in our society for many decades and centuries. And so as that energy rises again, as it always does, right? Cycles, as it rises again, this is the opportunity for us to make that important for ourselves. This is the opportunity for us to say yes to this. It's such a simple thing, but it's difficult because we've been trained out of it. All of us for generations. Our mothers and our grandmothers have all been trained out of it too. And so we're being called back to this place. And I love that Venus is kind of leading the charge through that Aries point, right? Venus, the planet of beauty. So we're leading with beauty. And so I'd like everyone to kind of sit in that moment. We talked a little bit about cats in laps and birds on feeders and favorite authors and communing with the moon and greeting the sunshine. These are all beautiful places of pleasure and joy, time with our family, places of real deep joy, simple joy for us. And that's the way in. That's Venus is showing us, like that's the way in. It's through your own pleasure, right? So one of the things that came up years ago was this idea of applying moisturizer, right? So those of us with dry skin who apply moisturizer, super efficient. We've gotten really quick out of the shower, boom, boom, we're done and we're off and running. So the idea was to come up with a way to apply moisturizer slowly and in a way that gives pleasure, and so that you slow it down and focus on the experience, the sensual experience of applying moisturizer. How beautiful. How beautiful. Such a simple thing. Many of us do it maybe every day, every other day. Just a beautiful opportunity. You can tell that I struggle with that, obviously. Okay. So I could use some water, which I don't have right now. So I'm going to invite everybody to take a moment to sit with that piece that you brought up for yourself earlier, whether it be about pets or family members or time with your favorite book, or the sun, the morning sun, or the nighttime moon. Lots of energy around being outside in the winter, which I thought was really beautiful. I've also been enjoying winter this year. Many of us are really enjoying the snow, the extra snow that we're getting for the first time. So really welcoming that Venus beauty, that aspect of beauty into your life, whatever that looks like or feels like to you. Let's take a moment to close our eyes. And you can take that hand and place it back on the heart, because we're really focusing on our heart right now. If you want to put both hands on the heart, lovely. You may want to take that second hand and put it down on the second chakra below the belly button. Really get connected into that place of grounding and rooting. And then wiggle your toes a little bit and notice the earth beneath your feet. And as you bring your attention just to your breath, not making it anything new or different or changing it in any way, feeling how your heart roots down, and just like the roots of a tree, allowing yourself to root down further and further, feeling your connection to Grandmother Earth, the living, pulsing, breathing planet that offers life and that sustains us, that carries such beauty, that we were birthed from and that we will return to when we are complete. Taking a moment to feel her beneath you, sink down into her, allow yourself to soften backwards and lean in, gently opening your heart, softening the shoulder blades, lengthening the back of the neck. Notice the softness of your jaw. If you've been holding here, just let that go. And really sink down, feeling the pulsing, living energy of the earth moving up through your feet, into your legs, thighs, and belly. Just welcoming that energy. There's nothing you need to do. There's no effort that you need to make. This is your earth, your living, breathing planet that supports you. There is nothing to be done here. There is nowhere to go. There is nothing to think of, no action to take, no plan to make. Simply soften and open and make yourself available to all that is being gifted to you here. And like a tree, allow your roots to drink in the nourishment from our grandmother. And then slowly bringing your attention to the star above you, our sacred sun. Allow yourself to open to the sun energy that is always available to you, even when it sets. She's still shining upon the earth. Your earth is receiving the light, the heat, the prana, the light codes, the information through the bands of color and light that are being offered from our star. Soften and open and receive that now, whatever might be available to you in this moment. It might be a simple sound, a little hum. It might be a feeling of warmth or heat. It might be a sense of wavelengths moving toward you, entering your heart, moving perhaps all the way through your body and exiting out the back of the heart. Or you might be absorbing it, recalibrating it, and then sending it back out through your heart. Feel into whatever that energetic exchange is for you, and remember that light is language. The earth has her own tones, her own language that she sings and speaks. You may be feeling that now. The sun has his own language that is imparted through light and vibration and frequency and color and reflection and refraction. Notice how that feels for you now. Just receiving. It might be a simple thing, it might be a single band of color. whatever it is for you. Simply allowing yourself to receive it now. And as your heart fills and opens and softens and you become ever more grounded, rooting down so that you can rise up, opening a little further, a little further. When you're ready, allow one tendril of your electromagnetic frequency, the energy of your heart, one tendril, not all that you have, just one tendril to begin to move outward from your heart. And just take your two hands together now, just rub them together, just gently, increasing the frequency between your hands, and place them both back on the heart, and allow that tendril to grow and expand, and feel how it's reaching out. It's reaching through time. That energetic heart vine is making its way out and reaching through time to the edge of your future. It's not anything you can see. It's not anything you can taste. It's not anything you can touch. But there is a sense of it. There is a sense of it here. As you reach very gently, no forcing, no efforting, just allowing that energetic tendril, if you feel like you want to rub those palms together a little bit more, charging your energetic field as you receive from the earth and receive from the star above you, mixing all of that into the heart, and just gently reaching out and noticing what's at the edge of your future. Maybe you notice a color there. Maybe it's just a tone, a hum, a sensation, a feeling in your body. Notice what's coming back to you. Remembering that just like when you toss a stone into the water, the ripples ripple all the way out to shore in sets of 9, and then ripple all the way back to center. So even as we sit in all of this Piscean dreamtime energy, we're reminded that we are actually in Aquarius. And the energy of Aquarius is the standing wave. So noticing how your heart wave moves out, just like those ripples in the water. And then the wave comes back. Just wait for it. Whether you're here in this time and space or whether you're watching and recording, just wait for that ripple back, that piece of information, that awareness. Might be a picture, might be a story, might be an aha moment, might just be a tiny prickle of sensation. Just noticing what that is for you. Waiting as long as is necessary to receive the ripple back. And whenever it feels complete for you, just coming back to this place and time. And we're just going to pause now so that we can share in circle. So just coming back from your time, expanding that heart energy and reaching out into your future and seeing what comes back. We had a beautiful share in circle. Maybe just do a little bit of journaling for yourself. And as we wrap up here, just a reminder that we will be running our second of 4 Co-Create 2025 circles on the 29th of March, all about working with that spiritual warrior, setting those boundaries, being in service, mastering that internal fire and reconnecting to your innate power, your innate wisdom within. So watch for the email for the code that we'll be offering. And until next time, we will see you for our next circle. Bye-bye.